top story. It's a full-blown battle in the West Bengal Assembly. Leader of the opposition and BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari seen openly threatening TMC Minister Partha Bhowmick. In the Assembly, Mr. Suvendu Adhikari says, and I quote, "I will get you arrested and picked up in a month's time." Let me tell you how this episode unfolded right inside the Assembly. Suvendu Adhikari was speaking on the Panchayat budget in the Assembly today. Towards the end of his speech, he looked up at two MLAs who had switched from the BJP to the TMC. He rebuked them openly on the floor of the House, following which chaos broke out. TMC Minister Partha Bhowmick asked Suvendu Adhikari whether his father, Sisir Adhikari, is with the BJP or TMC. That's when Mr. Suvendu Adhikari completely lost his cool, went ballistic, and threatened to have the minister picked up and arrested. The speaker had to intervene. He asked Suvendu not to issue these threats on the floor of the House. But Suvendu responded by saying his father should not have been dragged into the matter. Okay, listen in to what both sides are saying right now in their defense.
No, I am not saying anything. Whatever I said, it's on record.
So Partha Bhowmick...
Please collect record. Partha Bhowmick is not my counterpart. I defeated Mamata Banerjee. He is the employee of a company. I defeated the owner of the company, Mamata Banerjee. I am not saying anything in question of Partha Bhowmick.
ना मुझे तो ये महसूस हो रहा कि एजेंसी को जैसे इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, ये महसूस हो रहा कि शायद एजेंसी को चला रहा है केंद्रीय सरकार के माननीय प्रधानमंत्री या गृह मंत्री नहीं, ये चला रहा है बंगाल के नेता लोग। और सबसे ज़्यादा तो इस बारे में जो कई मर्तबा शुभेंदु अधिकारी ने जो बयान दिए हैं सदन के अंदर और बाहर, इससे ये मालूमात होता है कि एजेंसी को बीजेपी चला रहा है या शुभेंदु अधिकारी का निर्देश से चल रहा है ईडी सीबीआई।
Let me go straight across to Tamal, who is joining us on the broadcast on our top story today. Tamal, quite an interesting day in the Assembly is, the TMC did threaten to take the entire matter to court. Is that something that is likely to happen? Ya raat gayi, baat gayi, as they say.
Very unlikely. I don't think it would be a Raat Gayi, Baat Gayi matter because, mind it happened inside the floor of the Assembly. When Suvendu Adhikari refuses to make any comment on what he said inside the Assembly, he's trying to be technically correct because his speech on the floor of the Assembly is what gets documented as per the Assembly procedure. So he tomorrow can come up in his own defense and say that, look, inside the floor of the Assembly, I did not say anything beyond my speech. Everything is documented. But then, as his speech concluded, he did make that comment. He did suggested, looking at Partha Bhowmick, that I will get you picked up in a month's time. In a post-poll violence case, I will get you picked up in a month's time and I challenge you. To which Partha Bhowmick did resist, and Partha Bhowmick complained to the speaker, and there it becomes very interesting whether the speaker would now intervene, because Partha Bhowmick immediately sought the attention of the speaker and said, look, Suvendu Adhikari is openly threatening me. And as you nicely explained the chronology, yes, Suvendu Adhikari was speaking about the Panchayat budget, and towards the end of it, he was also talking about as how BJP MLAs who are there inside the Assembly as BJP MLA, but outside the Assembly have already joined Trinamool Congress, how morally they can claim themselves to be a BJP MLA, and on that issue, Partha Bhowmick eventually questioned as what is the status of Sisir Adhikari. Sisir Adhikari is a Trinamool Congress member of Parliament as per Parliament record, father of Suvendu Adhikari, who had joined BJP along with Suvendu Adhikari back in December 2020, right ahead of 2021 Assembly election. So the showdown between Suvendu Adhikari and Trinamool Congress is slightly completely separate than the showdown and the face-off which is on between Trinamool Congress and BJP. For Trinamool Congress and Suvendu Adhikari, the showdown is a little more personal because Suvendu Adhikari had been with Trinamool Congress for very long, and then he joined BJP, and then he's challenging Trinamool Congress and Mamta Banerjee now. So Suvendu Adhikari, as he was, had to face that comment from Partha Bhowmick, he immediately stood up and then complained to the speaker as how come Partha Bhowmick is raking up his father's issue, which is immoral and not morally correct. And after he sat down, looking at other BJP MLAs, he said, I will get him picked up, wait and watch, in a month's time I'll get him picked up. So when you juxtapose this with the current discourse in the country, where the opposition parties have almost united against central agencies, suggesting that central agencies are being misused by BJP, and also to the fact that there had been multiple actions by central agencies here in Bengal that Trinamool Congress so far have construed and blamed as nothing but political vendetta, vindictive politics of BJP, and that Trinamool Congress is being hounded because they are raking up issues in the parliament, and that's the reason BJP is trying to silence them. So when you juxtapose Suvendu Adhikari's statement that happened inside the assembly to these kind of a discourse happening around, it becomes very, very interesting. Partha Bhowmick did speak outside the assembly before the media, and he alleged that this is nothing but his way of trying to tame down Trinamool Congress. And he also suggested that even if 211 MLAs of BJP, of Trinamool Congress, beg your pardon, are being incarcerated, put behind bars, and only Mamta Banerjee is outside, still Mamta Banerjee won't kowtow before BJP. So yes, it's a full-blown face-off between Suvendu Adhikari.
Oh Lord, we've lost Tamal there, but I think he's done a good job explaining what exactly has gone on in the assembly. There are cameras in the assembly, but the entire sequence of events as it played out today have not been released. What instead we have is the TMC leader who was threatened come out and speak, and we have Suvendu Adhikari who has spoken to my colleague Tamal. Speak to him and tell him that he is not going to say anything beyond what has already been said. Tamal, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Dr. Shatarupa of the BJP, I hope you can hear me. There have been some audio issues with you. Good evening. We also have Riju Datta, spokesperson of the TMC, joining us. Dr. Shatarupa, can I come to you first and ask you what sort of behavior this is? This is your leader. This is your leader on the floor of the House, openly threatening a TMC minister. You wait and watch. Within a month, I am going to get you arrested. I mean, what is this? Is this an outburst of anger, or are these illusions and delusions of grandeur, as it were?
Shreya, good evening to you and Riju and the rest of the people who can hear me, because I'm kind of trying to guess what you all are saying, and I've been holding the phone very close to my ear. So please excuse me if I do make a few goof-ups based on the audio, but I can get the feel of what is happening today. You see, it's not a question of my leader or the leader of opposition. Anybody, you, me, Riju, if our father gets insulted under any circumstances, whatever the circumstances may be, it is very possible that any of us will lose our cool. Having said that, yes, I've heard what the leader of opposition has said. And it is also true, if you've been following the politics of West Bengal, which I know, Shreya, you have been, Trinamool has lost no opportunity, has left no stone unturned to insult the leader of opposition on a personal basis. They make personal insults on his character, on his gender, on his nature, on his assets, on everything possible. And it's not that they do that only to him. They make personal body shaming insults to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Home Minister. They have been playing this low-level kind of politics for a very, very long time now. Now, as far as what the leader of opposition has said and whether he has been able to handle himself with dignity in the House or not is entirely a matter of perception. Obviously, I will say he did, because he is the leader of opposition. He represents my party. But if you look at the lead up of events that has been happened, I feel he's completely justified. Having said that, the last line that he said, he is Partha Bhowmick. You see, Trinamool and the other opposition parties have written a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister that they feel, I mean, they have every right to feel whatever they feel. They feel that all the central agencies are run by BJP, which is again not very new, because I mean, ever since 2021, I think they've been constantly saying that we run the whole country, like we run the whole country. We've been running all central agencies, including the Chief Election Commission, and this is a long list. Now, I think they've somehow managed to refine the list a bit, but they have to understand one thing, that these agencies are the heads of the agencies are selected by a committee where the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India, as well as the leader of opposition, there's a triad, there's a three-member committee, which I'm sure Riju by now knows, but if he doesn't, I would just like to remind him. And the last line that I would like to say is, if at all these people are constantly trying to say that this is political vendetta and whatever Suvendu says comes true, and whoever Suvendu names, the central agencies run after them and catch hold of them. You see, in India, it is not really so easy, because the Parliament of India has not yet, unfortunately, come up with a very sound, foolproof accusation policy where you can nail somebody of I know Riju is getting impatient, but since my audio is very low, just hear me out. I don't know whether I'll be able to hear you. So my point is that since the financial accusations, they take a bit of time to get hold of them. When we do finally get hold of them, when the central agencies finally get hold of these people, if it was the theory of political vendetta by BJP, these people would not have been producing that amount of evidence. You will see, Shreya, everybody who has been caught hold of, who has been arrested, has been feeling
let's get Riju in. Riju is holding his head. Chalo, theek hai. Shatarupa, I let you speak, Dr. Shatarupa, I let you speak and put your side of the story first, and the BJP's side of the story first, because I was a little shaky on your audio. Now let's get in Riju, and I hope you can hear him, because what's the point if you can't hear him and not respond to him?
I can't hear.
Riju Datta, respond to this. Look, she's saying,
but I'm going to hear Riju out.
Okay. Now please hear Riju out now, and I hope your audio is better. If it's not better, you let me know. I'll ensure that it gets better. Riju, what Dr. Shatarupa is saying is this: तुमने अगर father को लाया, if you drag my father in, of course I will get angry. And when I'm angry, I'll say things. And you have to take what has happened in the West Bengal Assembly in that spirit.
Okay. Now, first of all, I have got some pointed rebuttals. Now, first, the BJP spokesperson says that they have dragged in his father, and that is why he has gone completely ballistic. Now, if asking somebody which party does your father belongs from, if that is an insult that you take so dear to your heart that you will go ballistic, then I'm very sorry. Suvendu Adhikari is in a very wrong profession. He should go into something like painting or drawing or something like that. That's point number one. Now, point number two, Suvendu Adhikari, in your video, just what you showed of Tamal's interview, said, Partha Bhowmick is not my counterpart is Mamata Banerjee, who I defeated. Well, let me inform your viewers, Suvendu Adhikari is the only MLA in this country who sub judice MLA. That means his victory is still in the court of law. It is still not confirmed as yet. It is still in the court of law. That's number two. Number three, I am not angry at Suvendu Adhikari. I am angry at my Prime Minister and my Home Minister, because they have set this dangerous precedence that even if you are a hardcore criminal, if you are a corrupt person, if you are a con man, all you have to do is join the BJP, go through the washing machine, and you are clean as a whistle. And why I say that? Because Suvendu Adhikari's statement comes at a backdrop of, if you remember, Shreya, Mr. Sandeep Patil. He is the MP of Lok Sabha from Maharashtra. Yesterday, on a public stage, he said, I am not scared of ED because I am in BJP. And that is not my statement. That is a Lok Sabha MP of BJP from Maharashtra. So similarly, Suvendu Adhikari also thinks that ED, CBI are his paternal properties because he belongs to the party called BJP. And do you think they have any moral or ideological ground to talk about it? Let me also remind your viewers of a recently concluded election in Meghalaya. In 5 rallies that Amit Shah did, in every rally he said the most corrupt government is in Meghalaya and the most corrupt chief minister in the country is Conrad Sangma. I am not saying it, the Honorable Home Minister has said. And as soon as the results are out, Mr. Amit Shah picked up the phone, tied up with him with only 2 seats, made one of his BJP MLAs ministers, and the Prime Minister attended his coronation. Do you think the BJP has any moral ground to talk about it? It is a fact. Every kid, कोई भी बच्चा किसी भी प्रदेश का आप पकड़ लीजिए, वो जानता है कि ईडी और सीबीआई बीजेपी के इशारों पे नाचती है, सिर्फ चलती नहीं है, नाचती है. And that is a fact. That is why recently, Shreya, 8 political major national parties wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of this country against this overtime of the central agencies and this political vendetta of the central agencies. Only Congress did not sign that letter. So it is a fact. And because of that fact, because all the criminals, let me just finish.
We've all seen what is happening.
Shreya, 10 seconds. So because of all the chronology that I have just narrated right now to you,
Shreya, you have to sum up because I couldn't hear what you said.
In the last 10 seconds, I will only say this, that every criminal in BJP knows that they are safe from ED, CBI, and if they complain to their bosses in Delhi, then the opposition parties will be hounded. That is why these idiots have the guts to say all this on the floor of the Vidhan Sabha. Shameful, extremely shameful.
Okay, so Riju, okay. Shameful. Okay, Shatarupa, if you couldn't hear Riju, essentially the sum total of Riju's argument on the show has been this. We all know that the ED and the CBI and the central agencies are being used by the current dispensation to fix the opposition, and therefore Suvendu Adhikari thinks that the ED and the CBI are his paternal property, essentially in Hindi, Baap ka mal or Baap ka agency, that they can unleash on any political opponent that they want to. Fact is, what Riju is saying, is backed by fact, is backed by data that we have been getting in since 2014, that it seems that the ED and the CBI are simply interested in opposition parties and not what BJP netas do. For example, you have Karnataka's neta. एक मिनट, अरे रिजू भैया मेरा शो है, मुझे भी बोलने दो. 1 minute, रिजू. Okay, चलो बोलो.
Still going to continue Damsharaj.
No.
अच्छा, एक मिनट. Okay.
I'll just make one point and I'll keep my mouth shut.
Shatarupa, I'll give you time, you know that.
Yes.
Okay, Riju, 10 seconds. Make your point.
Yes. Because the show is about Suvendu Adhikari, that is why this topic becomes relevant, is because I will also state to your viewers and to you, Shreya, that Suvendu Adhikari is mentioned in the ED and CBI charge sheet in the Naroda scam. Our leaders were picked up. They were behind bars for 3 days. Suvendu is not even questioned. Ab puchiye na unse.
Okay.
Shreya, please.
Since she can't hear you, I will be the translator. Could you hear him or could you not hear him, Dr. Shatarupa?
No, I just could make out that. May I? Based on what
Dr. Shatarupa, if you heard him, go ahead.
Okay. Based on the Damsharaj that he said and what you just summed up for him, you see, we've been saying this from the very beginning, that we do not run the central agencies. I mean, there's no amount of times that I can say it, and we're actually not even interested in convincing them. But if you look at, you're talking about the data. Shreya, if you talk, because anyway, I'm having a problem. Please bear me out.
No one believes the BJP
just let me finish what I'm saying.
You sign language.
No one believes the BJP when they say they don't run central agencies. In Karnataka, you have a BJP leader from whom 8 crore rupees have been recovered. The ED still has not had time to come and say hello to him. Suvendu Adhikari has been mentioned by the ED and the CBI in the Sharada scam. What has happened? Has the ED and the CBI even come to him once to say hello? No. So when you say that this government doesn't dictate or doesn't run central agencies, it sounds hypocritical because, all of us see on television every day what is happening, Shatarupa.
Okay, now I'll have to talk uninterrupted because anyway I'm having a problem with the audio. I'm going to hear, please bear me out. Yeah, I mean, with Riju's Damchiraj, and I'm just trying to basically guess what you're saying. No, I agree with the fact that we do not have, I mean, we do not see, as far as your data bank is concerned, as far as everybody's data bank is concerned, we do not see the rampant onslaught, according to their version, of the central agencies in BJP ruled states. I agree. That is because central agencies are called when the state government fails to investigate on their own. Now, you see, no matter the innumerable amount of times I've said this, innumerable number of times I've said this, we do not run the central agencies. But if Trinamool and the other opposition people do not want to believe, all I can say is nachte na janle uthon baka, which means if you cannot dance, you feel that the entire prangan, entire arena is twisted, is kind of broken. But anyway, that is their problem. But yeah, as far as the other, to answer your question, as far as the state which is ruled by BJP, we do not need to have central agencies unless there is a solid complaint, because we do take internal cognizance. We immediately take action if at all anything goes out of control. If they still have a problem, they can still complain and they can keep on complaining. I will keep on coming and defending my party on the channel.
Okay, Dr. Shatarupa.
As far as Suvendu's Charoda and Naroda and all this is concerned, yes, Shreya.
Okay. So, Riju, I don't have too much time, but would you want to respond to what Dr. Shatarupa is saying?
Yeah,
of course, Riju wants to respond. Riju wants to respond all the time. Because he can hear and I can't hear.
That's great. That's the good thing. This is a debate. It's good that both of you want to respond to each other. I have to speak less.
Because that's all I'm going
to say. I'll just say this.
No, I really enjoy it when I have spokespersons from West Bengal come on my show. I think they are articulate, they make good points, and they don't behave that the entire world is collapsing around them. So I really enjoy it when we have guests from West Bengal. Riju, go ahead. 20 seconds, we'll wrap this up.
I'll just say this, that, Shatarupadi is trying to defend the indefensible. It is a very clear-cut thing. And she says that we don't need central agencies in BJP ruled states. Shreya, if you remember, you have been a stalwart journalist for a very long time. Hemant Biswa Sarma, unke khilaf ye log parche nikal rahe the in Assam. Remember those days? And now he is the chief minister and the biggest, probably, broker of all these states in northeastern part of India. Number one. Number two, during the weapons camp, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, oh my God, ye karenge, wo karenge. He's still a chief minister and now he is getting down from choppers claiming I am a farmer's son. So we have seen all sorts of drama. But, on a very serious note, I will say this, that the British ruled India for 99 years and they ran away. The Mughal ruled India for 200 odd years, nobody remembers them. You are ruling India for 8 years. The change is the only constant, and one day BJP also have to go. It's a fact, it's nature. But when you will go, what you are doing now, and then karma will come to bite you, do you think you can handle that? Because there are too many skeletons in your closets, which you are trying to protect with all these central agencies. And karma has a very bad way of
leave it there.
That.
Suvendu Adhikari issued a threat to one TMC leader. Are you issuing a threat to the entire BJP? Maybe you are, Riju. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Dr. Shatarupa, for joining us. Thank you, Riju, for joining us as well.